Tribe and YouTube fam, welcome back. Welcome back to Live Life Your Terms. I'm Chad, by the way, just in case you're new here. In this video, we're going to talk about the 12 non-negotiable rules for men. In this video, we're going to do something special here because I am going to move very fast, but this is what I want you to do is I really want you to watch this video and listen to all these rules. Now, I really want you to think and walk away with one rule that you're violating, one rule that's kind of sticking out that is non-negotiable to you, but you're actually not following it. And the second thing I want you to do is comment below and let me know which one that is. Right now, for me, it's number 9, but we'll get to that in a little bit here. Rule number 1 is never go back to a woman that's cheated on you. So this is how I like to explain it real quick. You know, we've always heard everything's about frame, standards, and boundaries. And really, your standards and boundaries are non-negotiables. That means when you cross them, there is no second time to cross my standards and boundaries. So if your standard and boundary is cheating, and that's really a boundary of yours, and what happens is when you accept them back, guess what? Deep down subconsciously in her mind is you have no standards and boundaries. I can walk on you. I can do what I want. Okay. You're going to put up with it. You're going to put up with me. That's really what you're communicating. Number 2, never shake a hand sitting down. The thing with rule number 2 here is that you have to remember, you know, when you're around other males, okay, it's really about dominance. It's really about alpha energy. And you have to look at it this way is when I'm sitting and I'm shaking someone's hand and someone's standing over me, I'm in a submissive state. So technically what's happening is I'm submitting under their energy. Okay. You have to look at it that way. Look at the animal kingdom. Even if you were brought up, like for me, I was brought up, my dad was a hunter. So I was brought up that he always had 6, 7, 8 coon hounds. Okay. So when you have a lot of pets, a lot of dogs, you really see it in the animal kingdom is when a dog, an alpha dog, walks up to another dog, if they stay sitting or laying down, that alpha dog is more dominant over them because when you're sitting, you're submissive. Okay. You also see it where if an animal's laying down, another animal walks up to it, the other animal will stand up and they'll go toe to toe. That doesn't mean they're going to fight, but they're respecting each other, the energy they have. Okay. The alpha energy. They're not laying down and being submissive to it. Okay. It's the same thing with guy on guy. That's why you always want, even though it's respect, but you always want to stand up and shake somebody's hand. Now, number 3 here, never go broke while impressing other people. Now, you have to remember here with this one, this is about authentic self-worth. You have to be really authentic. Okay. We always talk about being authentic. Authentic is power. Even in law of attraction, manifesting, living life here in terms. Okay. You have to be authentic. You have to be you. Okay, why is that? You know, trying to look successful before you are successful creates a facade built on external validation. That weak energy attracts users, not allies. What's a deeper meaning to this? Impressing people is weak. Influencing people through power is gain. Number 4, you never eat the last piece of something you didn't buy. I know a lot of people that do this one. Okay, now this is really directly about respect. It shows you understand the invisible rules, that you're not entitled, you're not careless, and that you carry social intelligence. Pretty much, you know your impact and you move like someone who gives more than they take. Are you guilty of this one? Number 5, always have ambition to do better. Now, this is kind of going on hands in hand trying to attract your SP. Okay, this one I'm not even going to read because I'm going to put in my 2 cents right away with this one is because you always want to put a dent in the universe. You always want to become better. You have goals, you have ambition, you're going somewhere in life. And that is very, very, very attractive, especially to the opposite sex. Especially you want to say, well, Chad, how do I attract my SP? Okay. You need to have frame, standards, and boundaries, and you need to be putting a dent in the universe. That's how you do it. Number 6, protect who is behind you and respect who is beside you. You have to understand this. This is tribal leadership. Protection is instinct, but doing it consciously is manhood. You lead from the front, hold the line at the back, and walk beside your people with integrity. Bottom line. Number 7 is an SP Air 101. And it's don't beg for a relationship. Okay? I mean, bottom line. Okay? Listen to this. Power never pleads. You attract what you embody. And the reason why I call this an SP Air 101 is because most of you are trying to attract your SP. You're really putting off that energy that you're begging for a relationship. That's how that energy pulls off. Is because what happens is you're becoming obsessive. Every time they text you, you answer it right away. Even if they break dates on you, you're okay with it. Okay, pretty much you're showing them that they can walk all over you. So what happens is, even if you're not really like this, that's not your really personality, but that's the way you come across. You're coming across obsessive. So they look at you like you're obsessive, you're needy, you have that needy energy. Again, you're not putting a dent in the universe. You have no hobbies. You're not sticking to your hobbies. You're giving up all your friends. Okay, you have no goals as far as what they can see. So you're giving off this begging energy, and that begging energy is very, very unattractive. And most of the time, especially in the beginning of a relationship, most girls, okay, are spinning plates. What I mean by that, they're talking to more than one guy. So if you're obsessive over here and you're giving off this needy energy, and you're pretty much telling them like you're begging to be in their life, they have this dude over here that's not doing it. So who do you think they're going to kind of hang out with? They're going to hang out with the Chad over here. They're not going to hang out with you. You get me? Number 8, work out at least 4 times a week. Listen. If you can't lead your body, you'll never lead your life. And like I said, like if you get into a habit of working out 4 times a week, again, it's not really about your looks, okay? It's not really about looking sexier. I mean, you will look better once you start getting in better shape, but it's really about, you ever see, sometimes even if a guy that's a little bit older, but when he walks in, he's in hella flipping shape, you know what I mean? And if you're another guy, even a girl who looks at you, they know that you've dedicated a lot of work, a lot of self-sacrifice to look like that. Okay, you know that he stuck to a goal until he's starting to see results. So that's what kind of comes off into the SP world, the relationship world. It comes off in the leadership world. Okay, when you're in super shape, it shows that you're dedicated, you're persistent and consistent to stuff. Okay, even in the beginning of my career, once I graduated college, I used to compete going through high school and college. I used to compete professionally in martial arts. And I competed professionally in martial arts. I trained professionally in martial arts. And when I went to get a job, that's the only thing I could talk about in the beginning because I had no other experience. And I got like really good jobs, really good job offers just because I went really, really far in the martial arts world. Okay, because it showed that I was dedicated and persistent. It showed that I hung on to something for years, okay, until I started getting good at it. So it's the same thing when you're working out. Now we're going on to number 9. Remember in the beginning of the video, I said number 9 was my top one that I kind of, when I read through this list, that I needed to work on, and that bothered me. So what's number 9? Number 9 is, if you're not invited, don't ask to go. This is the one I kind of struggled with a little bit. But again, if you're not invited, don't ask to go. Okay, why? I mean, again, this is about self-worth and boundaries. Okay, it all comes back to your self-worth. It all comes back to you having frame, standards, and boundaries around your life. Okay, and listen, you never force your presence. You go where you're celebrated, not tolerated. And if you're not invited, that's data, not a wound. Number 10, dress well no matter what the occasion. This might be my second one right now. I kind of feel like this one too, just going through this video, because usually I dress well, but since I'm in Thailand and it's hot as hell and humid as hell, I find myself like I'm always wearing tank tops, like thin little shirts. I got powder all over me because this is cooling powder. So number 10 kind of rings a bell for me too, is, dressing well, looking sharp, okay, looking like a badass. And number 10 really kind of brings up a concept that we really don't want to talk about. We really don't want to deal with, is like people are judgmental. Bottom line, I mean, people just want to see you and they're not going to like your hairstyle and they're going to judge you and not like you. People are going to see you, you're not dressed very sharp, and they're going to judge you anyway. You have to understand that. I mean, people are mean, people are cruel most of the time. I mean, that's the world we live in. People's going to judge. So that's not why you dress sharp. But one of the things you dress sharp is because it's communicating to your subconscious mind who you really are. Okay, you're trying to become that most successful version of you. So how would that person dress? And you dress that way. I'm not saying be unauthentic. Be authentic. Dress how you want to dress. That's being authentic. But you can dress sharp in that way. You get me on that? Rule number 11, listen, observe, and most of all, make eye contact. You have to understand this. Deep awareness is power. Eye contact disarms weak men and connects strong ones. Now, number 11 here, I'm actually going to twist this into an SP narrative here, or an SP 101 air again. Okay, you ever walking somewhere and you glance at a girl, she looks at you, but you're the first one that looks away. Okay, well, what did that communicate? It means that she's more dominant than you. Okay, because you looked away first. Okay, you have to look at that. Like, it's the same way with guys. If you're talking to another dude, you're talking to a guy, and you look at him straight in the eye, and if you both are dominant, you both are used to it, you're going to have a conversation looking directly at each other. But you've probably also, had the experience where you're making eye contact with another dude, but he's always like looking down, looking around, he's kind of avoiding eye contact with you. Okay, that should really tell you something. But it also plays an important role in the SP world. Okay, who's more dominant? Are you more dominant? Are you the alpha, or is the chick the alpha? And you can quickly get this when you just watch human psychology. You just watch human behavior, and you're catching it in yourself. Like, if you look at a chick and she glances back at you, and you're the one that looks away really quick, you're more submissive in that arena right there. I'm not saying, don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. I'm not saying you just stare at her. Okay, I gotta stare at her until she flipping looks away. Don't take what I'm saying the wrong way here. I know how your brains work sometimes. And the last one, number 12, is probably my favorite. Find multiple ways to make money. Okay. The bottom line here is money equals success. That's how people look at it. Bottom line, how successful you are, how much money you make. I mean, I hate to say this, but it is true. I mean, people are judgmental. I mean, when you go on dates, bottom line is they want to know how successful you are, how much money you make. I mean, even though they don't ask you, they're observing you. They're observing your lifestyle, what you do, what your job is, what your job title is. Okay, what type of car you drive, where you live. Everybody's observing you, bottom line. Okay, so what about this one, number 12? Listen to this. One stream equals dependence. And I'm talking about one stream of income. Pretty much one stream of income means you have a job, you have a job, you're an employee, you have an employee mindset. Okay, you're not an entrepreneur if you have one stream of income. Okay, so whether it's a job, a client, or a platform, if one change can collapse your entire life, you're not free, baby. Bottom line. And this, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole with this one, because when we start talking about money, we start talking about being an entrepreneur. I'm not saying that you have 10 things going on, because lots of times when you have 10 things going on as an entrepreneur, you're pretty much broke. Okay, you're broke at all 10 of them, because the secret here as an entrepreneur is you need to be laser focused on one thing. Okay, but at the same time, you have your investments working for you. You got passive income working for you. You're developing different products that produce passive income. Okay, especially in the digital world today. Okay, maybe you're in crypto or something like that. So that's what I really mean by that. I'm not really meaning that you have 10 different careers and you're so spread thin. Don't take it so far. Okay, I'm not really saying that. Now, granted, if you have a job and you want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to have two things going on at the same time. You're going to have your job, your daily job that makes you money, that brings in income, brings in support your family. But on the side, on that side hustle, is you're trying to break free from that. You want to be an entrepreneur. You want to work with your passions. Okay, so you're going to have two things going on. But other than that, I want to stop here at number 12, because I'll go down a rabbit hole with this one. Other than that, YouTube famous tribe, we just went over the 12 non-negotiable rules for men. So this is what I want you to do is comment below. Let me know which one you really struggle with that stuck it out for you. Comment below. Let me also know what you're going to do to kind of rectify that. Like I said, I will comment below as well and talk about number 9, what I'm going to do and stuff like that. But that's the one when I first went through the list that really stuck out with me. The other one was number 10 when I was actually going through it today. So I kind of had 2 of them, but number 9 really kind of stuck out for me. Other than that, my friends, remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.